how I grew out of Zionism. Well, it was a very long process, and it went by several stages. But I would like to note here that there are, opposition to Zionism is a blanket phrase. There are various reasons and various ways in which people are opposed to Zionist ideology. My evolution, I don't want to spend too much time on it because I'd like to get around to speaking about more important issues than my personal biography. But since you asked, at the age of 12, that's about the time of the 1948 war, which is the war of the Nakba. I happened to join a socialist Zionist youth movement called Hashomer Tzayir, which it was a movement, a youth movement belonging to a socialist Zionist party, which combined socialism with sort of, at that time, Stalinized tint to it, and Zionism. This was obviously a very unstable combination. Many Jewish communists and Trotskyists and various radical socialists went through this movement to try to combine Marxism of the Stalinist kind with Zionism, and were confronted by the contradiction between the two components of the doctrine of that party, of that movement, and chose the one component. This is what happened to me at the age of about 16. When I reached the age of about 16, which was 1952, I realized the contradiction between the two components. By that time, in this youth movement, at the time, this is not the situation at the moment, but at that time, we were subjected to quite extensive education in Marxism. And I chose the Marxist component and rejected the Zionist component. I didn't see how you can justify Zionism on the basis of the Marxist ideas that I was subjected to. I found myself at the age of 17, 18 in the Israeli Communist Party, in which I remained a member until 1962, when, together with a few other comrades in the Communist Party, we held opposition views to the dominant Stalinized communism of that party. We were expelled from the Israeli Communist Party in 1962 and founded the Israeli Socialist Organization, known as Matzpen after its monthly newspaper. So that was my route biographically. It helped that although initially all the founders of Matzpen, the few people who originally founded Matzpen, were of the Hebrew Israeli Jewish community, we were seeking to expand to form ties with Palestinian Arab members of the Communist Party, and we found a connection. We were fortunate to be joined very shortly after the foundation of Matzpen by a great Palestinian Arab Marxist, the late Jabra Nicola. And his ideas educated us to the nature of Zionism. You spoke earlier about Zionist ideology. The problem is not really fundamentally, primarily, to understand and reject Zionist ideology. What is fundamentally to be understood about Zionism is the Zionist project. Zionism is a movement, of course, which has many parts, many sections. There are, at least there used to be socialist Zionists. Paradoxically, this is a paradoxical combination. There were right-wing Zionists, there were religious Zionists. That is, like all movements, it has many variants. It has an ideology, which I can speak about later, but most fundamentally and most important to understand is the nature of the Zionist project. Zionism has a fundamental aim, a fundamental goal to which it is dedicated, and this is fairly common to almost all sections of the Zionist movement. And this we began to understand in the mid-1960s. So what we had simultaneously by the middle of the 1960s is both a rejection of Stalinized communism and an understanding of the nature of the Zionist project.